Hey everyone, Dave Hagan here. And it's Christmas. Almost. That's today on the Financial Wellness Podcast.
Welcome to the Financial Wellness Podcast, Dave's weekly message to keep you on your path to financial success. Here is your host, financial problem solver and talk show host, Dave Hagan.
Hey, thanks, Nick. We're here in beautiful downtown Van Nuys at Uncle Studios. Welcome to another edition, the Christmas edition, I suppose, of the Financial Wellness Podcast. Today with me, as always, Brian Reed. Welcome, Brian.
Merry Christmas, David.
Merry Christmas to you, too, and happy holidays. You know, this episode is going to drop on Christmas Eve, and some people may be listening, and some people may not. But I wanted to have some kind of a gift, some kind of a something to give to people that actually take the time.
A present?
A present.
For me?
For you, and for everybody. So I was thinking about 4 different specific things or presents that we have for our readers. And of course, the first one is our body of work for this past year. I think we generated about 50 different episodes, and we hope that they've been interesting and useful. Certainly, we worked really hard at it.
It's it's effortful sometimes to make the time to come in and drive through LA traffic. But in the end, the product that we create and what you're trying to do here, Dave, is great. So.
Well, I appreciate you being involved in. Well, I know you're driving, especially coming from the west side to the valley, and a lot of work, a lot of effort, and I appreciate that. And I hope that the listeners, appreciate that too. We put a lot of effort into it. Second thing, in terms of gift, is I wanted to reshare my favorite episode. And out of all the episodes that we did, my favorite, the one that I think was most poignant, perhaps most important, was Who's Running Your Motor? And, it talked about really an email from Seth Godin, and it was important to me, and I think hopefully important to the listeners, because it talked about, look, either you're running your motor in your life or somebody else is. And let's think about that and see what you come up with. It's an episode that just kind of evolved in short term as we were thinking about it and happened to get an email. But I thought that was perhaps the most poignant episode for me, my favorite of the year. And we're going to play the first part of that entire episode in just a couple of minutes. Brian, how about you? Did you have a favorite?
It kind of comes off of exactly what you just said, and who's running your motor. But it was the round table on the black card. Because again, I know, there are perks and benefits to these various credit cards. However,
right.
They are totally, the way they advertise everything, they're trying to run our motors. So I just thought, and that was just kind of a silly, goofy episode anyway, so it was fun.
Well, and the ironic thing was, the initial idea with that episode was to, spoof the black card, to put some shade on it and kind of reveal it for what it really was. And yet, kind of ironically, as I recall, the more we talked about it, the more we started getting into it and digging it and going, oh yeah, metal, and it revolves on a pedestal.
What about, it was how many patents were pending for the credit card itself?
And the carbon fiber.
That's right. It was carbon fiber.
And yet I see kind of our role in this whole thing is to, kind of pull the pants down on this kind of goofy stuff, and yet
shine a light on this thing for whatever it is.
And yet we got caught up into it, and then we went to the gold card, and then the Amex Princeton card, and
the Costco card we were talking about too.
Yeah. That was an episode after that, but yeah, the black card was fun. Let's do that after we play the episode here today on running your motor. We'll play the one on the black card.
Throw them all back to back. If you're having a long drive through snow, you can go back and re-listen to them.
Yeah, and get a chuckle out of that. Well, the fourth thing I was thinking about is if you want a copy of my CD called 10 Ways to Prosper, and it's a piece that I did, a couple years ago, and it incorporates some of the messages of the Financial Wellness Podcast, but some other things that we were thinking about at the time as well. Send me an email, and I'll mail you one out for free. Now, we may sell these next year at some point, but for now, if you send me an email before the end of January 2019, we'll send you one out for free. Happy to do it. Just to thank you for being a listener, our gift to you. So you go to the financialwellnesspodcast.com. That's the financialwellnesspodcast.com, and submit a comment that goes, dude, send me a copy of the CD. Here's my name and address and email, and we'll send it out to you. But you got to do so before January of 2019. But we're happy to do that. We want to thank our listeners for listening. We wanted to have several gifts for people to listen to. I'm going to really appreciate and enjoy listening to the, Is Your Motor Running podcast. And Brian, now that you bring it up, the black card, that was fun. So that'll be good. Brian, you got any plans for the holidays?
Just a lot of family, friends, and college football.
Yeah, good time. Some good pro stuff coming up too.
It's going to be fun.
Not bad. I don't think we have any plans. We're the family's getting together. It's 20, 22, 23, 4 of us, whatever it is, getting together, having a meal the week before. And a lot of times we like to go up to the mountains and see if we can get some snow, but not this year. We need to stay in town. We've got some business things that are moving along, and we got to stick around. So we'll still have a good time, but maybe I'll be going to those after Christmas sales or something. I don't know. Hey, everybody, we hope that you have a great Christmas. We're working on coming up. We're working towards that Happy New Year, but Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, guys.
All right, everyone. This is the episode called Who's Your Running Your Motor? This is my favorite episode from August of 2018. Check it out. Today I want to talk about your internal motor. Is it running? Or maybe the question is, who's running it? I subscribe to a blog by Seth Godin. My wife, the CPA, turned me onto it some time ago. It comes almost every day and is delivered by email if you subscribe. It contains a few short paragraphs and usually touches on business, marketing, and life issues. Some days it just doesn't grab my attention. It's on a topic that I really don't think about that much. However, some days it really resonates with me, and I think about it for days. Now, right now, you might be wondering, who's Seth Godin? Well, he's an author, entrepreneur, and teacher. He talks mostly about business and marketing issues. He's written 18 bestsellers that have been translated into 35 languages. The first book that I read of his was called Permissive Marketing. He was talking about email marketing at a time when most people hadn't even thought of it yet. He has 8 online business courses. Perhaps the best known is the Alt MBA. And if I was still coming up in the business world, I would certainly think about taking his class. It's quicker and more practical than a traditional MBA. He's posted over 7,000 blogs and spoken to over 3 million people at 1,000 different speeches. He's even given a TED Talk. He has a website, SethGodin.com, where you can sign up for his blog. He also has a podcast called Akimbo. I think it's almost as interesting as the Financial Wellness Podcast. I've never met the guy, but I really like his stuff. One of his recent emails really got me to thinking and related in part to what we talk about here, and that's why I want to share it with you. One of his most recent blogs was called The Motor. In that blog, he notes that audiobooks are outpacing reading. Why? They come with their own motor. A person can sit passively with their motor turned off, and they don't have to do any active reading. We all read, but pushing through a chapter or book takes effort. You have to have your motor on. Reading anything without links requires that we run our own motor. Seth notes that the internet is the greatest collection of information of all time ever developed. Yet few people take advantage of it enough to sit down, use their motor, and actually learn. If we do any research or learning, we tend to use it more as a quick reference or super yellow pages, if you will. Maybe that's why YouTube flourishes. Sometimes you can lose hours of time just going from video to video. I've lost many hours this way. I've heard someone call it going down the rabbit hole. Now, this reminds me of an incident several years ago with my son. He was about 10 years old and wanted to set up some kind of sub-network or something on our home computer. I had no idea what he was talking about. I told him to go get some information from Google. Instead, he went to YouTube and watched a video. Based upon what he saw, he was able to set up whatever it was on the home network. It seems like many people, especially millennials, are using YouTube to gather information to do research. Why? Well, I think it's because they don't need to run their motor. Now, in this case, I thought it was a good thing because my son, who just doesn't have the patience to sit down and do some research and read and go through a bunch of stuff, he was able to figure out this very complicated internet alignment. Now, I find that I do the same thing, although in a slightly different way. When I come home from work and I've done the things that I need to do, I'll decide whether I want to watch a movie or read. More often than not, I'll watch a movie because it doesn't require that I run my motor. All day long at work, I push with my motor on. When I get home, I don't want to sit there in active mode. If I read, that takes effort. If I watch a movie, I can just coast and let it come to me. When we look at the internet, it's simply easier just to click on a button as opposed to trying an address or typing in a command. It's easy to look at the pictures as opposed to reading the text. Now, I just assumed I was doing this because I was just lazy. It turns out, I just didn't want to run the motor. Now, we all need time to veg out in front of the TV. We all need time to turn the motor off. Don't get me wrong. But how purposeful are we when we turn off the motor all the time and just let someone else set the agenda? Now, Seth closed his blog with a mind-blowing statement. Somebody's driving. It's either you going where you choose or someone else pushing you. Wow. This really caused me to pause because I think he's so right. Either you're setting your own agenda or someone else is setting it for you. When I thought about this directly relates to financial wellness. We're either on our own path, following our own plan, using our own motor, or someone else, like retailers, banks, credit card companies, they're driving us, pushing us to do what they want us to do. If we let them, they'll end up with all of our energy and ultimately our money. They're really good at this. They have Madison Avenue and hundreds of millions of dollars in research backing them up. I don't really begrudge them being sophisticated in their business dealings. However, we have to be more sophisticated and smarter to keep from pursuing their agenda. We need to pursue our agenda so that we get to where we want to be. Now, the good news is that we can offset this influence just by being mindful and purposeful. The thoughtful use of our minds can offset what others, including big business, want to do to us. Pretty cool, huh? Now, if you've subscribed to the Financial Wellness Podcast, you've probably done it to be entertained and informed. But more importantly, perhaps you've done so to stay mindful about your financial wellness. If that's the case, congratulations. One of the main messages of the Financial Wellness Podcast is to have a plan, to follow it, and to get to where you want to be, not letting someone else push you to where they want you to be. Our pledge is to continue to do this on a weekly basis in an entertaining and informative way. This is Dave Hagan, and you're listening to the Financial Wellness Podcast. All right, that was one of my favorites. In fact, most meaningful of the first batch of 50 that we did. Now let's listen to Brian's favorite. This was a fun one. I enjoyed this a lot. This one we called "The Roundtable Takes on the Black Card." Check it out. So let's talk about my Black Card application experience. So I'm rolling out to the mailbox. Open up the mailbox. Big, nice black envelope in there, sent to me by MasterCard. Now, you guys, you sent me the application. I didn't ask for it, so we're talking about it today, and you get what you deserve. That's just the way that it rolls. So, look at this card, you guys. Big black envelope. Open it up. I get this nice little card, luxury card. It's an application. It's an invitation to apply. Very nice, signed by Marina something at MasterCard. And then I open up this brochure, nice black and white thick stock brochure. Look at that.
Let me see that, Dave.
It's like a trifold, but it's longer than a regular 8.5 by 11.
And it says best in class. I would like to be
Congratulations.
best.
Apparently, you're best in class.
Yeah. I was never the best in my class, but I guess now that I am. So it's talking about all the stuff that this luxury card does, all the advantages and disadvantages. A lot of fine print. A lot of fine print going on here, but that's okay. Then they gave me another page. It's 8.5 by 11. It's got the terms and conditions. And I'm not going to read that. There's too much going on.
That'll
there.
take 2 days to read all that.
Yeah, there's too much going on there. But they're promoting a luxury card that's made out of metal. Pretty cool. So it's a metal card, and we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Metal card. You throw it down on the tray. It makes a little clink. Shows that you're best in class, right? Wow. And then it's protected by 41 patents, it says right here.
Ooh.
41, and the back of it is made out of carbon fiber, because that's really necessary.
In a credit card, you need that level of carbon fiber.
A metal is necessary nowadays.
I've been thinking about that, right? I've been thinking about that. So, wow, what did I get? Well, the first thing is I got a luxury card concierge. Is that how you pronounce that word?
Concierge.
Concierge.
I've never had one of those before. Here's what it says. Enjoy 24/7 access to luxury card concierge, a complete lifestyle management service tailored to your personal requirements. From booking an extravagant travel itinerary to sourcing hard-to-find gifts, our concierge specialists are on hand to ensure card member experience and more.
Ooh.
Sounds pretty good, I guess.
Sounds nifty.
I guess I'm rolling big. Okay, now the next thing I get is $100 a year in annual airline credits. It says travel credits towards flight-related purchases. I don't know what that is, but it says including...
Is that peanuts and cocktails?
Yeah, expensive cocktails, right? Including airline tickets, baggage fees, upgrades, and more. Luxury card automatically applies to credit to your account. Well, I mean, okay, so I don't have to pay for the bags at the gate. That's okay.
Right, so it's kind of starting to add up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, not too bad. Luxury card travel's the next benefit. Card members receive an average value of $500 in benefits and services per stay at over 3,000 properties around the world. Benefits may include complimentary food and beverage, room upgrades, resort and spa credits, and welcome amenities. I don't know what that is. But do I have to go into every hotel then and go, hey, what do I get for free here because I got the black card?
I mean, it only says may include. It doesn't say will include.
Yeah. You really don't know what's going on there. I mean, it sounds good, but if you really think about it, I don't know. All right, next benefit, no foreign transaction fees. Luxury card members enjoy greater freedom with no foreign transaction fees on purchases made when traveling abroad.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I guess I don't even know what foreign transaction fees are. I guess I don't get around much. All right. Airport lounge program. Now, this actually sounds kind of good. Enjoy access to more than 1,000 lounges in over 500 cities worldwide with Priority Pass Select. Oh, I mean, okay. Yeah. Traveling's gotten kind of out of hand. It's crowded, it's packed, it's whatever. And so that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like a nice meal before your flight, maybe a cocktail or two, maybe it'll add up.
Yeah, I mean, if you travel, I don't get around much. I don't know that I need an airport lounge program when I'm flying to Sacramento. But here's another one: Luxury Magazine. Check this out. Card members receive Luxury Magazine, the exclusive quarterly publication that covers a broad range of categories, including travel, fashion, real estate, vehicles, and technology. Each issue showcases an artist's work as the cover art, making it a limited edition collector's item. Did they really write this seriously? The last thing I need is another something on the coffee table, right?
Wait, what magazine uses the same cover every week? By definition, aren't they all different and therefore collector's items?
Yeah, I guess, right? And if you got all that, I think there's a TV show about people that collect stuff like that. It's called Hoarders. Even better. I'm looking on the internet, looking at this really cool card application that I got in the mail because I want to know more about it. And I came across an unboxing video of the card.
I saw that too. That's
right?
Amazing.
Now, millennials, like I'll do on YouTube, like unboxing your iPhone or unboxing this or that. And it's kind of something that millennials do. But here they have a corporation doing an unboxing video. What up with that?
I've got some comments on that.
All right, go ahead.
Well, no, this is great. The very first line of this thing is, first, you'll notice the card is shipped in a quality custom box, engraved luxury card. Okay, so, it's nice.
It's nice, right?
It comes in a box.
Right.
I wonder if the box is metal as well.
I saw it, yeah. It's a nice looking box, but, it's going into a landfill at some point.
It's still a box. It's a box. I mean, in my opinion.
They're stealing straight from Apple and trying to unveil or reveal.
Right, but wait, there's more. Go ahead.
It is because, there's a shot in this video where they lay everything out. Okay, so you're not just getting this, amazing black card. You're getting the box top, the styrofoam cushion divider, the cardboard divider that lays between the styrofoam divider and the box top, and then you get to the bottom of the box itself, which includes the card and this vacuum-formed plastic altar for the card to sit in. And then you get an instruction manual of all the benefits and, of course, just like the iPhone, a microfiber cleaning cloth.
Yeah, because you got to have a clean card in your wallet, right?
Absolutely.
I couldn't believe it. I was watching the video, and they show it being presented for payment. So they show this metal card dropping into this sterling silver tray and being presented to whoever they're using the card for.
I saw that.
Because don't you always drop your card into a sterling tray? And it also said engineered for distinction. So, I think that's pretty cool. And then on the back of the card...
Actually, Dave, I'm going to correct you there.
Yeah.
It actually said that it was engineered for durability and distinction.
Oh, there we go. Well, that's the carbon fiber part of it and the 41 patents, yeah. And then it says World Elite on the back of the card. That's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, you are best in class according to the promo.
This is true.
Dave, did you notice during the video how when they went split screen and they're listing the card benefits, that on the right-hand side of the screen, the card is just rotating around and around on a spinning base, and it's exactly like you were at a car show and there's a 1946 Cadillac just going around and around. I was waiting for the scantily clad women to come in and start doing those Prices Right hand gestures as they go through each item of the Showcase Showdown or something.
Classic. Do people really buy this stuff? Is this what makes it more desirable? I don't know. I mean, it's pretty thinly veiled to me, but
and
what do I know?
Isn't that luxury magazine that they're offering, isn't that just known as more ads?
Sell you more ads for more credit cards or something like that. Oh man! All right, down to the dirty. Past all the fluff, the financial terms. 6.24% interest. Well, not bad. I mean, remember on past shows we said average interest rate across the country about 18.5. So it's not too bad. 5.5% on cash advances. So you pay 5% if you take cash off the card, in addition to an APR of 26.49.
Wow.
What? Is that legal? It is. I mean, it is
legal robbery.
But it's a heavy card. I want a heavy card.
That's true. How about a late fee of $37?
Ouch.
Ugh. All right, but what do you get? What do you get for that? Well, 2% on airfare, but you got to buy airfare through them. It kind of reminds me when I went to get my new Apple phone, and they said that they would buy my old phone back, and they gave me they said like $200 on a credit card. And I said, well, okay. I mean, it's just going to sit in a drawer. I actually have an Apple museum, an iPhone museum at home where I have a 1 and a 3 and a 5. And, sometimes when I'm bored, I like look through my little museum. But now they give you some money for that. So now I've turned it back in. I don't have the last couple. So, but it occurred to me that they give you a card for $200. So you're buying merchandise at their store that they paid $100 for. So they're really only giving you 15 cents on the dollar of the discounted amount that they're already giving you. So they're like making money on you like the second round. It's kind of like a kiss on the other cheek, right?
Any way they can.
Any way they can. But and then it seems like, when the couple times that I've done it, you're buying tickets through them at a rate that's greater than what you would get it on Orbitz or Expedia or Southwest.
Or just the actual site itself. You go to Southwest or American Airlines.
Exactly. So I don't know. It seems like they're getting you 2, maybe 3 ways for that. But 2%, okay. I mean, I guess. Second thing you can get instead, 1.5% cash back credited to your account. Well, that's good.
Okay.
I mean,
it's cash.
It's cash. I like that. It goes right to your account. You don't have to apply for it. But I don't know, $500 annual membership fee.
Ow.
A little hefty there.
So I don't know. That's a little I didn't know that people were paying $500 a month in membership fees. Last I looked, it was like $100 a year. $500. You got to get a lot of benefits to get over that, you know?
Yeah, and spend a lot of money.
No, spend a lot of money. So by the way, how's the card making money on something like this? Well, first of all, fees, right? Membership fees, late fees. I mean, they're making billions of dollars. Secondly, interest. So if somebody doesn't pay and they carry a balance, interest, and we said it's about 18.5% on what'd we say? A little over $1 billion collectively, or $1 trillion collectively nationwide, right? And they're getting a transaction fee from the retailer, which typically is 1 to 4% of every charge. So they're making money 3 different ways. I mean, who cares about the retailer? Let the card worry about that. But there's some stiff money that's going back and forth here. But I don't know about you guys.
Hands.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys though. I'm still digging the card. Right.
I'm still digging the unveiling.
Right. I want to unveil it. I want to have that experience, and to be able to drop a metal card and a metal plate. Go big. All right.
Is it heavy enough so that the server is actually going to need 2 hands to pick up the tray that it's on,
so
they
true.
realize how important I am?
So true. And I remember I told the story a couple podcasts ago about. Some other company sent me a metal card, and I thought it was really cool until I found out that now I had to pay an annual membership fee. And so I said, close it out. And they sent me out an account that didn't have it, but it wasn't the metal card anymore. It was just like the cheap old plastic thing, So when Elon Musk comes up with a problem or an issue, he says, look, do the physics. And so I want to say, look, let's do the math. Let's run a couple of examples and see if this really pencils out. So let's say, for example, you're charging about $4,000 a month or about $50,000 a year in charges. Now, that's kind of a lot for a lot of people, but this is an example that they used on the website, I think actually in the video that we talked about. So, all right, so you're going to get one ticket for a $50,000 a year of charges. You're going to get one ticket for $1,000. Okay, but what's $1,000 in an air flight? Is that coast to coast, back and forth, or what?
I think you can probably get a first class ticket to Europe for that. Can
you go to Europe for a K? All right, well, so that's not bad. But you're buying it from them at an inflated price, right? So it's not on the website, and you pay the membership fee. So you kind of have to do a little offset or add it all together there. If you get 1.5 points credit back on the card, which we really liked just a couple of minutes ago, that's $750. But again, you paid the $500 membership fee. You get the airport lounge. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's still nice.
That's nice.
We're always going to be okay with the airport lounge.
With the airport lounge, $100 credit on baggage. Yeah, it's okay, I guess. But really, I mean, we're talking about an airport lounge is really liking it so far, because otherwise we're talking about a couple $100 swing.
Right.
For someone that's really hitting their cards pretty hard. I mean, 4 G's is a lot.
Well, I mean, $50,000 a year. I mean, it's a good amount of money.
Yeah. So let's say if someone's doing $2,000 a month, that's probably in line with what perhaps there's a lot of people out there that do that. I mean, I don't want the readers to, but let's say if you did, it's more realistic maybe. So you're going to get one ticket for $750 buying through their store. So basically you'll get to the East Coast, you get to Pennsylvania or something like that, right? Or if you do the cash, you're going to get $350 in cash, but you paid $500 in the membership fee, so you're at a loss. So now you're at a loss on the cash back, but you are getting into the airport lounge.
It's all about the airport lounge.
Anything
to get me away from the crowds.
Right. So I mean, maybe not. So I'm thinking, what's the card going to make on me in a circumstance like this? Well, they're going to get my $500 membership fee. If I miss like one payment during the year, and sometimes you're busy and you miss, you're going to pay $50 in interest at their prescribed interest rate. You're going to pay that late fee of $37. So you're going to pay $87 on that. And then on the retailer, they're going to make, let's say 2%, not 1 to 4, like I said. Mm-hmm. Let's pick a number in the middle, 2% of $50,000, say. They're going to make $1,000. So they're making money both ways. and they're giving me access to a lounge at the airport, you know, which still sounds pretty good. And the card still looks pretty cool to me, but I don't know. What do you think, guys? Is there anyone that would actually benefit from this card, or, you know, who would this be?
It's going to be some guy that's got a big ego and is just trying to impress somebody.
Yeah.
So they have the black card. You know, does it say anything in there on if you are late on a payment that your rate is going to jump?
Oh, it could be a variable.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. And there's also a concept called universal default, which means if you miss on some other card and they pick it up on your credit report, they can use that to increase yours. So that's built into a lot of that fine print. Now, I didn't read all this fine print. What do you think about all this fine print, Brian?
I started to read all of it, and what I really got interested in is, you know, the font size on that thing, because that's a normal 8.5 by 11 piece of paper.
Yep.
And it's double-sided.
Yep.
So what I did was I scanned it and I put it into a Word document, and the actual number of words in this thing, 5,312.
On both sides or just one side?
No, that's the total number of words
On both sides
for that piece of paper.
Goodness.
Which then it was like, all right, well but it's on, you know, it's just one piece of paper. I kept feeling okay because it was just one piece of paper.
Right.
And it came with so many other cool pieces of paper.
Yeah.
The best in class brochure and the luxury card from Melissa or Marina or whoever it was.
Whoever that was. Thank you, Melissa.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But then I started to think about it and went, I was stuck on the font. So there actually is a website called wordstopages.com, and it's supposed to be one of those websites that kind of helps college kids figure out, okay, if I've got to write a 2,500 word essay on something,
do I need to?
All right, how many pages do I need, and at what font? And so I used it, and I went there, all right, I have to write something that's 5,312 words. I'm going to use a traditional Arial font at a font size of 12.
Fair enough.
And that came out to 11.8 pages.
Right.
I mean, I was just thinking from my college years that one page would normally equate to 250 words. And to hear that 2 pages is 5,000 words.
That's how much they're jamming on there.
It is mind-boggling.
But this is your contract with the company, right? And,
oh, guys, wait, it still gets better.
And I've said before, you know, on the podcast, hey, you really, really should read anything that you sign. So you're going to read this 11, 12-page thing?
But look at that. That's still, and what I didn't tell you was that that's still at single spacing.
Oh, okay.
I ran the numbers again using an Arial font and Times New Roman, using double spacing, something that makes it actually readable and you can try and follow it.
Right.
19.4 pages in Arial, 21.9 pages in Times New Roman.
It's incredible.
Still with the font size of 12. So you're actually looking at a 20-page college paper reduced to a 1-page double-sided, so small of a font, and they just kind of sneak it in there because they know we're going to get, just like we did, we were looking at the big card stock and all the pretty pictures and exclusive words.
The shiny metal thing,
shiny bauble.
And then put the terms in covertly.
Right. Well, and then I think one of the things that someone applying for this card has to have is some time on their hands.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say they have to be not have to be, but they probably should be a traveler, since this is what appears to me a travel-based card. Yeah.
I think this one's travel-based more than maybe some of the other cards that we've been talking about lately. But a lot of benefits there. But what kind of a person? Someone that travels, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe a wealthy person, because you got to put a lot of traffic on them. We said to get any benefit, it's got to be about $50,000 a year or $4,000 a month, roughly.
And maybe someone with a big ego.
Maybe someone with a big ego that's got to carry around. I mean, if someone's charging less, a couple $1,000s a month, they're not going to make their money back on this travel stuff.
But Dave, what about the gold card?
No.
Yes,
no,
the gold card.
Don't tease me.
The more premier card than the black card.
More premier than the black card?
Yeah.
And I didn't get it?
Dave, I got to go. I can't be on your podcast anymore, man.
See you, Dave. See you
later, guys.
I'm only a black card guy. No,
delete this.
Nick, do tell the gold card.
Okay, so the gold card.
Yeah.
It comes with a $995 annual fee. $1,000
$1,000 for a card.
Just to have it in your wallet. Okay.
and then I'll leave the rest to you, Dave. I am just astonished by this.
I mean, they've got all the benefits of the black card, I think, but like 2% back on cash, I guess.
Yeah, 2% back on cash. You get 2% back on airfare.
Okay.
And you know what, Dave? I can't even do this anymore. I think we got to cut it. We got to cut it.
We could go on and on and on, but here we picked the biggest, baddest card we could find, the black card, and you've eclipsed us now with the gold card.
I wonder what kind of box the gold card comes in.
Yeah, they drive it up in a car or something. I don't know. Oh man, so how do we wrap this up? Well, you might come out ahead if you're a big spender, or you might come out behind too. It just depends. You'll certainly make a big impression. We like the card. I'm not sure that it's a very good value, but we like the card. Maybe you need to impress someone. Maybe you need to impress yourself. But my thought is, why play the game? Do you really think you're going to outthink some kind of a corporate entity? I don't know. Maybe there's a better way. Next time we're going to talk about an average card. We're going to talk about some credit cards for the rest of us. We'll talk about the Costco card. That seems pretty average and regular.
I love that card.
So, that'll be interesting. So stay with us. Next time we're going to talk about cards for the rest of us. This is Dave Hagan, and you're listening to the Financial Wellness Podcast. Well, there you have it, everybody. My favorite episode from August of last year and Brian's favorite episode from June. Hope that you enjoyed those both. Hey, again, if you want a copy of the free copy of the CD, 10 Ways to Prosper, send me an email. Go to the website, thefinancialwellnesspodcast.com, and where you can type in a comment, say, hey, send me the CD, and put your name and address. We'll send it right out to you. If you don't have the energy for that, you can use the microphone where you click and it says, hey, record your question, and you can say, dude, send me the free CD. This is my name and address. So if you want that, get it to us, but you got to do it by the end of January 2019. All right, everyone. Hope you have a great holiday. This is Dave Hagan, and you've been listening to the Financial Wellness Podcast.
You've been listening to the Financial Wellness Podcast, Dave's weekly message to keep you on your path to financial success. If you have a question that you would like Dave to answer on the podcast, go to thefinancialwellnesspodcast.com. You can leave an audio message with one click of a button, or type your message into the question box. Either way, it's sent right to Dave's phone. Remember, Dave will randomly draw from the submitted questions and pick the winner of a free 1-hour personal conversation with Dave to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you receive the new episode notifications, or share the podcast via the app with your family and friends. This is your announcer, Nick Appel, wishing you every financial success.